Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Delias Paris and I live on a little farm right outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I have a new project for us today. I'm super excited to share this with you. I think it's pretty fun. It's cool. Let me give you a look at this new project. So what we've got here is a new idea for an envelope. I am calling this the envelope with a decorative pin. And let me show you what this looks like. So we've got our basic envelope. And if you turn it around, you have a pocket in the back that you can put things in. And then when it's forward, we have this pin, which we can remove. We open it up and we've got our envelope. And when we close it, here, we've got this decorative piece here, which is also a tuck spot. So we can pop some things in here. And then to hold our envelope closed, we've got our pin, which we're going to put here. Isn't it great? I love it. I do. I love it. So let me tell you what supplies we're going to need to make this. And I'm really hoping this video doesn't end up too long. There's a lot of elements here, so we're going to do our very best, okay? We're going to need some 6x6 decorative paper, or at least that's what I'm using. Any decorative paper that's square. If you want a smaller envelope, if you want a bigger envelope, just make sure that they are 2 squares. We're going to need all of the usual suspects. I've got my glue stick, my art glitter glue, a 1-inch circle punch. I've got my rounded corners and my straight edge corner. And guys, these are optional. Use what you have, make it work. Nothing is required. I'm going to use some washi tape. Let's see. And what else I got? Oh, distress ink, which is here. I still like the vintage photo. I have all these other ones and I need to play with them, but my daughter just started school today, so I'm really hoping I'll have more time to experiment. So I use vintage photo, and we're going to use some more of those mini brads. You know, when I purchase something, kind of a specialty item, I want as many ideas to use them as possible, because there's nothing more disappointing than spending like, $8. You use them for one project, you make a few, and then you're like, well, I don't know what else to do with them, so they just get thrown in the stash. So we're going to play with these again. And I've got these. I bought these from, whether you pronounce it TEMU. I think their commercial says TEMU, but I'm struggling to remember. These fragmented texts. And they're just little pieces of paper with words on them. And I like them because, one, I gotta tell you, my fussy cutting needs work. And 2, time is of the essence. It should be a little better now that Belle's in school, but these just save time for me. So let's go ahead and get started. I think that's everything. I've got my bone folder, all that good stuff. Okay. So we're going to start with our 2 6x6 papers, and we're just going to make sure, I already picked my papers out because I'm trying to make sure that this video doesn't get too crazy long. So this is my bottom page. I'm going to fold it corner to corner. So I'm going to get that corner lined up. There's my bone folder. I'm holding firmly here and pressing across. And just going to double check it on this side. I think I'm just a tiny bit off here. Okay. And then I know that I want this part of my paper to be, here, I'll show you on this one, this flap. So I'm not going to fold it this way. I'm going to fold it this way. Corner to corner. I'm feeling so excited to be back. And at the same time, a little frazzled because I'm like, oh, okay, how do I do all this again? But we're fine. We're good. On this piece, which is my bottom half of my envelope, I want a little divot here so that it just kind of signals that that's an envelope, that that's a pocket. So I'm going to use my 1-inch hole punch, or circle punch, sorry. And I took that back plate out so I can see really well the inside of that, because the middle of that X is the center. So I know this paper is 6 inches long. I'm going to flip it this way so I can see better. So 1, 2, 3 inches. And make my mark at that 3-inch spot. And then I'm going to center that mark with the middle of that X. And I like a shallow notch, but you know, y'all do you do what you like. I think that's, oh, did I just move? I did. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. I think that's, let me straighten you out again. Okay. So there's my notch, and we're going to ink these. I'm going to ink everything so that I don't forget, because it's one of my favorite things to do. And I know y'all know how to ink, but I like to do every element because there's people who are new, and I don't like to skip anything in case you're just starting out. So I put all my supplies, everything I used, if it's still readily available, I put links in the description. So feel free to check those out if you want to know what kind of ink I'm using, or the daubers. And so we're just inking. I go a little deeper on those corners just because I like the way it looks. I've got to try not to rush so much that you know how you rush and then you just get more and more like anxious. So I actually, before I did the video, I took a few minutes and just took some slow breaths and was like, okay, Delise, we're good. We got this. Sometimes I get nervous, which makes no sense because no one's here. Okay, and let's ink this one. Usually, you know, I try to get these videos out on Wednesdays, and time just got away from me. We did that last minute vacation with Belle, and then she started school today, so we had to sort of meet the teachers, you know, go to the school, find out where everything is. It's the same school she goes to, but she moved up classrooms, and then she wears uniforms, so get all that stuff together. And I realized that if I tried to do the video with all that going on, it was going to be a mess. It was not going to be a good video. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to wait so that I can do it properly. So thank you, y'all, for being so patient. Now that she is back in school, my schedule should be much more open. And, okay. So this is my top flap. This is going to be this decorative part. And here's my bottom. And I want that circle to be in the back. So I'm going to turn this over. And this is how we're going to lay this out. This one goes down first. Then we're going to put this one down. Fold that in and over. And so if you open it, there's your front of your envelope. And if we hold it and turn it over, there's our pocket. Okay? So just make sure everything's lined up correctly before you start gluing. Don't pull a Delias. And I measured my pocket. You guys can do this. You can make it bigger. You can make it narrower. But I'm going to give you my measurements. So I went 1.5 inches down. So I'm going to take this first piece. And I'm just going to use my mat. Here we go. 1.5. I'm going to make a line there. and make sure that, okay, and 1.5 and make a line there. So I'm going to glue from this line up and this line up. We're not going to glue here, okay? So where is my glue paper? And just so y'all know, I use the same piece of glue paper over and over and over again. And when y'all aren't here, I use these plastic placemats that I find at, you know, garage sales or whatever. But this is much more visible on camera because the placemats I tend to find can be pretty loud, and I find them very distracting on the camera. So that's why we're using this paper. Okay, so I got my glue on those 2 lines. And we're going to, I always use my mat just to make sure everything's straight. And now I'm going to line that up. There we go. Okay. And a little piece of paper towel. Fold that up, fold that over. Oh, we're not perfectly straight, are we? How'd that happen? Hold on. There we go. Much better. Okay. And I'm going to use my, just make sure that glue stays. Is it good? Yeah, I think it's good. Okay. So now we've got that first pocket completed. We're going to flip this over. And we're going to start by just getting that pen paper ready because I want it to have a little time to set. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I've got a piece of index card. You know, what you're looking for is to make this pen strong enough that it's firm, that it can be used as a tool, so it can go in and out. My index cards, you know, it's not quite cardstock. So I'm going to fold this over and over and over again. But if you're using really thick paper, use your good sense and, you know, go as, you know, thick enough that you feel like, you know, that it's almost maybe 2 cardstocks thick. I just want it to be strong enough that the wear and tear is okay. So I'm measuring 1 inch there, and I'm just going to fold on that 1 inch or, you know, right about, because this, we're going to cut this down. So don't worry about exact measurements quite. And I am going to just use my glue stick. Use any glue y'all want. I know some people have mentioned they really don't like glue stick. It doesn't bother me. Especially for stuff like this where it's like completely sealed. Okay. And I'm going to use my bone folder. And I'm just going to keep going. We're going to fold it over on top of itself again and again and again until we're out of index card. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's a reason my bone folder always has glue all over it. I think it has something to do with my messy gluing. Okay, there we go. And again. Okay. Yeah. And this is just going to make us a really strong pen. You know how I feel about stuff being... Okay. You know what? Wipe this off. Okay. I have so many bone folders because I'm constantly misplacing them or getting glue all over them. Okay, here we go. Another one. Let's go one more time. I think that's all we got. There we go. Okay, let's just get this paper out of the way. So I have this little piece left, and I'll just cut that off. Ah. And I'm just going to make sure it's really sealed together. Okay. So that's going to be our base for our pen. Let's cut off this little excess piece. Oh. And then we're just going to leave this to dry while we're doing some of the other stuff. I really don't like working with when the glue stick is still wet. Sometimes we do because time is of the essence, but I figured if we glue this first and set it aside, it should be pretty well ready when we get to it. So I'm going to put that aside. Okay, so the first piece we're going to work on, I'm going to take these out so you guys can see on here, is this piece here. And the reason I'm doing that first is this second piece is optional. If you don't like it, don't do it. I think it's cool. I also think you can make a bunch of these and just glue them into your journal as little tucks. So we're going to start with this first piece. So I have these fragmented texts I think I showed you, and I already pulled some out. They all have like different words on them. And we're just going to pick one for the sake of time. Let's see. Do we want... Oh, that kind of blends too much. I think we'll do this one. When I'm not doing a tutorial, I can be a little bit pickier, but y'all don't want to wait 3 hours while I figure out what I'm doing. That does not sound like fun to anybody. And I'm going to glue this to a little piece of index card because these papers are pretty frail. And, oh, let's ink it real quick. Oh, you know what? We can ink it after we glue it. See? Silly me. Start thinking too fast, and that's when you make mistakes, right? I always find, like, if I rush, I just mess it up even more. And then I rush even more because I'm messing it up. And it's like, just go down that rabbit hole. So try to remember, rushing does not save me any time. It really doesn't. And I want that to glue fast, so that's why I'm doing the art glitter glue. And let me cut off this little piece. I'm going to do 2 layers of this just to make sure it's down. Or make sure it's strong, sorry. I'm losing my words. Okay. Right there. Okay. And oh, I also had this stripe for greatness. I pulled that out and forgot about it. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just going to cut around. I'm going to cut big and then I'll cut fine here in a sec. Okay. Get that out of the way. And let's cut around this the best we can. Now that my daughter is in school, my hope is to add at least 1 more video per week. And I'm toying with the idea, and y'all have to tell me in the comments if this is even interesting to you. So I grow plant-based dyes. And when I say dyes, I mean like dyeing fabric, like color. And so you can use plants, and they were the original way to dye things before sort of chemically based dyes were created. And we can dye paper, you can dye yarn, you can dye clothes. I do it all. But I grow mine from seed, and then I harvest them and use them mostly in the winter because that's when I have more time. And I thought that might be really interesting to y'all. I also do eco prints for the journals. And if that sounds like something y'all would like to learn, let me know. And maybe we can start a video just on that kind of stuff. Whether it's drying flowers. I mean, there's so much you can do with plants. It's kind of cool how much they give us, right? Okay. And I'm just going to, because I'm being picky. Okay. Okay. I don't mind if it's a little wonky because that page was, and I think it's interesting when it's not a perfect, but okay. And let's, you know what? Let's put the pencil marks in first. So that little piece might get covered a little because I want it to be, so I'm going to put it here so I can see where I'm going. And I've got, how long is this? Sorry. We are 2 3/4. Or 66 millimeters. So being previously in my life being a jeweler means millimeters are my favorite way of measuring, because in the jewelry world, that is what we use. Why am I looking for this? Here's my center. I'm just going to make a mark. And then I'm going to go 5 millimeters. Actually, I think that might be a little too much. Let's go 4 on either side for my brads. Because I want them to be deep enough that they don't hang off the sides. Because that bothers me. I don't like that. Okay. Okay. And what I do is I'll line this little piece. I hope you guys can see this. I know it's tiny. I'm going to line it with one of the lines on here. You know what? I'm even going to use a little piece of washi tape so it doesn't move on me because it's so tiny. Give me a piece. Give me a piece. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Here's one that's easy. Okay. Get a little piece of washi. Wow, that's really little. That'll work. Okay. And we're going to line it with the line. Hold that down. And then I'm going to use my ruler to go across. Let's see, right there. And right there, because I want those dots to be in the same spot on either side. Okay. And let's start our 2 holes with our awl. That's how I do it because I don't have a hole punch that is small enough. Take that off, and I'm going to hold this here, push this down, and lightly get that hole going. That glue is still a little dry. I wish it weren't, or still a little wet, but we're going to make it work. Okay. And this one. Wait, it's on the other side. There we go. Oh. Okay. Got a little excited. Okay. That looks... Okay. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to ink this. And because this is so small, I'm going to ink a lot more than... I'm going to ink it all. Because I think it'll look a little better. And then give that edge a little more. Okay. And... here is my front. Yes, that is my front. Let's move that piece of tape. Okay. And, okay, so I need that to stay up. Okay, so, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Is that, I didn't make that mark, did I? I don't think I made that mark. 1, 2, 3. There's my center of this part. Here's my flap. Okay, so, and there's my center on here. So we're gonna go right there. And I'm gonna go through this hole to make my holes for these. So I know, did I? Okay. So let's unfold this. Yeah. Sorry, guys. And let's get our little brads. Here's one. We're going to go through this first piece. And it's really hard to see on this paper. It's so dark. I think that's it. And I'm just going to start that hole. Let's go through that hole. Oh, come on. There we go. And close it up. And this is a good time to sort of check the other side and make sure it's straight, because you have this line here. Okay, I think I am totally off here. We're gonna fix it. It's okay. We got this. I don't know what I did, but it's okay because we got this. Here's my center. Oh, I think I went with that instead of this line down here, which is just silly. Okay. Okay. I missed my dot. We're going to move forward because we have got this. I'm going to put that there, and I will fix that hole last, because sometimes we make mistakes, and half of the battle is knowing how to fix a mistake, right? Okay, so we're good. And we're going to open this up. And then we're going to laugh because Delias is a mess sometimes. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. So I just misunderstood. So maybe use a lighter paper or a darker pen. Okay. And now I've got this one. Okay. And we're going to go back through this hole to make sure that we are good. Okay. I'm going to open this up because now I know exactly where I'm going. And there's my hole. And here's my brad. And, whoop, hold on. Go through the first one. Come on. There you go. It does not like working when it's wet. Maybe I should have done a dry one and just had it set to the side. Okay, but we're good. We got this. And we're going to close that. Okay, so there is our part where we can put that pin. So if we're going to close this, there's our pin, and it holds it in place. Okay, let's move forward. I really want that to dry. Okay, Delias, take a breath. It'll dry. Now let's get back to our pin, because I think if you wanted, maybe not everybody likes this additional piece here. So you could just do the envelope with this and the pin and stop there if you'd like. So here's my cardstock. I measured this, but I got to tell you, so I think that your pen length is going to depend on, so if I had this one, I wanted this pen to hit the bottom of my envelope and then kind of be centered here. I didn't want it to be like that. I didn't want it to go over this tuck. That's just my personal preference. So let's make the pen a little longer, and then you can kind of cut it down to size. This one, like you could go a little longer because I don't have, if you're not going to do that piece, you might want your pen to be like that. So kind of a personal preference thing. But I went, I think, 1 3/4 inch long by 3/4 of an inch wide. So I'm going to make a dot in the center. Well, hold on. We're going to go 1 3/4 inch long. Okay. Let's give that a cut. My dogs are going crazy again. Whoop. Okay. Yep. Okay. And then I'm just going to find the center. Okay, right here. And we're making that triangle cut again. So there's one. Flip it over. There's the other. And let's check it against our envelope. Kind of like that if I were going to leave this. And we can cut it down when we put the second tab in. So this is where I've got, okay, I'm going to straighten that out just a little bit on this side. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for this top portion, I'm using, you know, any mini element. I have these ready because, like I said, time. I was trying to keep track of time, so I'd already picked out these little butterflies. Where did I put the other one? Really? Where's the other one? I had the other one. Where did I put it? You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Well. Okay. Real quick. Since I do not see what I did with it, even though I know I set it aside. Looking under my mat. Okay, we're going to move forward. Let's just find some more. Okay, so these are my mini Holtz snippets. And any little thing. I mean, if you cut something out of a magazine, but you just want two that will mirror. I'm going to show you what I mean in just a second. Let's see. We got that butterfly. Oh, I put it back in the thing, guys. Lord, what are we going to do with me? Okay, so I have two of the exact same butterflies because I'm going to glue them like this with this piece, right? And then one on this side, just because I want this piece to be pretty on both sides. But first, we're going to get some washi tape on here. And let's see what washi tape we want to use. We've got the green flowers. I kind of want something that contrasts. Oh, let's do this green because it's bright. Okay. Here we go. And washi tape always needs a little help from its friend. So I always give it a little tiny bit of glue just because I don't feel like it's super... I mean, it's adhesive, but you know how it is. It doesn't stick forever like glue. Okay, here we go. And we're going to put one here. And a little extra. If you have wider washi tape, that'd probably be better. I'm going to put a tiny bit more glue on this side. Okay. And pull it off. And let's do both sides. There we go. Okie dokie. I'm really enjoying trying to think of new ideas. Because it's really fun to try and kind of create something maybe that you haven't seen before, or that's a little different. And it's fun, but sometimes I stress myself out too. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to seal on these sides because I don't... Let's just use our little fingernail. Now you guys know why my hands are always so dirty. And right there. Okay, and we're going to cut that excess tape off. Okay. And... Okay. Whoop. And, uh-oh. Don't cut the cardboard. Okay. Let's see. I know we got a little in here. I think that's so pretty with the washi tape. I like that. I like it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. And now, let's give these a little ink just to get rid of that sort of gray border, that little bit of a border. Not required, but I think I'll like it a little better. Yeah, that looks a little nicer. I don't like super grungy. I know some people do. But I do like it to look sort of like, like that. I guess semi-grungy. The right amount of grungy for each person is different, right? That's funny. My daughter likes things pretty grungy. More is better. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to line... Well, let's just get this first one going. So we're going to get glue on this little piece here. I think I'm using too much. I might make a mess. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm right. Okay. I'm going down. There we go. I want that to look like it's just coming off the stem. Hold on, guys. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And now we're going to flip it. And we're going to glue this one as close as we can get to exactly on top. Like so. And there we go. I think that's good. Let's get my little bit of paper. Oh, still a little off. Hold on. Come on, move fast before that glue dries. There we go. And then I'm just going to, I'm sealing these little pieces together. And I think I have just, yep. Okay. Just a little piece there. Okay, and there's our little pin. And I want this end to be a little blunt, just a tiny bit. Because that tip, if it's like a little sharp corner, you know it's going to get all bent up going in and out of there. But if we just blunt it a tiny bit, it's happier. And let's give it a little ink. Let me make sure my screen stays on. Come on, screen. I need to see what they're seeing. Okay. And here. And there is our pin. And that wasn't hard at all, was it? Okay. So if we wanted, and honestly, I wish I'd done something other than the green now because I think that's blending a little too much. But, here, let's look at that other. See, this one pops more. I should have done sharper contrast. So you could stop here. You could just say, you know what? And I'm done. And you've got your envelope with your pen. And because this is a little looser than I'd like, and sometimes this happens, what I'll do is go on either side of that brad, put a little dot of tape, hold it down, and that just tightens that up a little bit. So, yep, there we go. Now it's just a little tighter, but these brads are slightly decorative, so it looks kind of cool. So if you find that you're a little baggy here, just put a little dot of glue because we only need that much space open. So little dot of glue saves the day. So that's the envelope with the pin. Now if we want to add, and I'm going to round this corner and this corner just because I think it'll give it a little something extra. I'm going to use my 7mm. There. And there. Looks just a little softer. There we go. Now, this inside here. Cover it up with a book page or any decorative paper that you want. Where is my book pages? I've got them. Here's one. Is that wide enough? Nope. Okay. Go from there to there. We're not going past that crease because we're not going to be able to fold our envelope again if we do, right? So we're just going to go slightly before that crease. And make sure those are pretty well down. Right before the crease. I always fold it just to make sure I'm safe, and we are. And that takes care of our tag, or sorry, legs of our brad. Cut the excess off. Okay. There we go. And I got a little extra here. Okay. And then we're going to glue our envelope shut. So we've got here and here to glue here. So let's get our glue. We're going to go. We know this is before the crease, so we can just go with the paper now. So to there. And to there. Oh. And there we go. Oh. So I have done this video now. This is like my 4th attempt. I'm a little out of practice, which is ironic because I haven't even been doing this that long. And yet, here we are. Okay. And you know, I just did the wrong side. I was supposed to glue it here. Y'all get the idea. So if you want that to be decorative, you can glue. Oh, no, I didn't. I covered the brads. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Are we going to laugh at me or what? Okay, and you can see I'm still in my jammies. Okay, we're good. We got this. Okay, so let's do this added top piece just in case that's something you want to add because I think it looks really cool. I think both ways look really cool, but I like that added top. So for this added top piece, we are going to take any piece of paper. I happen to have a bag already made because I told you I glue these pieces and then I just let them dry. And that way I've got tons of them ready to go. Oh, no, I have more in there somewhere. Set that aside. This is some eco printing. Just so you can get an idea. That's going to be too much alike. No. We want something to pop, right? A little bit anyway. Okay. What about... Well, we'll try this one. Okay. So we need this piece here is 1.5 inches wide. And mine is just a hair over 3.5 inches long. I've played with them and done them in different amounts, but I think I like this dimension the best. I don't like it when it's all the way across. So I'm just going to cut this down, this little edge off. Got that piece off, and I'm going to cut this off. Okay. And I know I need a new blade on that. Okay. So we're going to do 1.5 inches. Right there. You know what? Let's go here and use our paper cutter and save ourselves some time. Okay. So this is paper glued to index, but if you have cardstock, just use the cardstock. Okay. So there's our base. Okay. And now we want a piece of book page. Got a piece right here. Okay. And I think I went, how high did I go? Let's see. 5/8. But again, I usually just eyeball it, but I want to make sure everyone, that looks too, yeah, that is too long. I measured that a little. Let's take a little piece off. There we go. That looks better. We don't want it to be too chunky. We want it to look, okay. So, cut this off. I don't like the big blank space at the top. And we're going to go just about 5/8. That looks about right. I'm going to use my glue stick. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. Make sure that's, yeah, there we go. Go a little further down. Okay. There, that's right at about 5/8. And then, what is that? What is that? Is that a piece of, we'll ink over it. Okay, and then I want something contrasting here. And so I don't want to use this pink again. And let's see what we got. We've got, what about something like this? This is a little bold. Let me cut this off so we can see what we're working with here. And there we go. Good. Okay. And this isn't coincidence that basically my measurement here is just about the same measurement as this. Because, and I like this side to be wide and that side to be narrow. So I'm just going to, I don't like that piece. I'm going to cut this diagonal real quick so I have something to work with. I don't want that straight edge. Let's see. Will that work? Yep. Okay. And we're going, mine is, let's see. I know y'all want measurements. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. So mine is 1/2 inch right here on this side by 4 millimeters. But just look at it and make it look, you know, as pretty as you want to look. So I'm going to go maybe right there. And we're going to fold over. Okay. There we go. And let's cut it. Okay. There we go. I think that might be a little wide. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes you can cut the same measurement and you're off just a hair. So I'm just going to trim a little piece off. And I like that much better. Good? Okay. So I'm doubling this up because this is going to be a tuck. And I want to make sure that we're good. And I'm a doodle. I glued this all the way down, so we'll just do one more. Only take a second. Okay. And there we go. Okay. We're going to fold just the lightest piece of this edge down so that it's nice and strong. Okay. With our glue stick. There we go. And we got it right here. And then let's just glue this little flap together. There we go. So now we have our triangle. And we're going to that straight edge to that straight edge. Let's ink it real quick. Here is my piece. I don't feel like I'm being funny today. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I picked too complicated of a project. I don't think this is complicated. I think it's just got some moving parts. And if you do each piece, you know, as it comes, I try not to make anything hard. I feel like things should be able to be interesting without being difficult. So we're going to glue this down all the way. And the art glitter glue dries so fast, so we're just going to use the art glitter glue. Straight edge to straight edge. There we go. Hold on. Move that up just a little bit. Come on. There you go. Okay. And this time, we're going to glue here, here, and the bottom, and not all the way across like a doodle. I'm not going to be a doodle this time. So now that we have this handy guide, we'll just go here, here, and the bottom. There we go. And line it up. Okay. And let's pop this in real quick just so it has something, so it has room when it dries to put stuff in. Okay. And we'll cut this excess off. And we're almost there, guys. I was trying to keep this video under an hour, and I don't think it's quite going to be under an hour, but so I feel like maybe I'm rushing. I should have maybe done this in 2 pieces, 2 parts, maybe. I don't want y'all to think I'm just taking up all your time. Okay. Have a little more there. Okay. Okay. And okay. Okay. And then I used my straight edge on the 4 corners because I like the way it looked. That's a little longer. So we can cut some of this off. We were at how many inches? Just over 3.5. See. Okay, right there. Which means I'm going to have to glue that side again, but it's okay. We got this. Did I mention that I tend to do things sometimes out of order? Some people are so good at just like, you know, so organized. I always feel like, I'm like, oh wait, I meant to do it that way. But, and we're going to ink everything. Let's ink everything so we don't forget. And yep, that needs to be glued one more time. Okay, there we go. Get that glue out of the way, and we're going to ink. No, we're not. We're going to do our corners. I am using my middle side. No, I'm using the large. So I'm going to do this side with my corner punch, and then I'm going to do the other side with the credit card trick in case you don't have a straight edge cornered punch. Okay. So if you don't have that, we're going to use a old credit card room key. I have this one. So say you're starting off with your card. Just cut a straight edge, however kind of wide you want it. And I shouldn't do it on this because this won't be the same. But let me show you. So I would just line it up. So I would be lining it up here. But I'm going to line it up on this to show you so that all my corners are the same because... And then you're going to cut with the edge of the card. And if you were going to do this side, You're then going to flip it because you want that side to be the opposite, right? You want that corner to be the opposite. And cut there. And then you have two straight edges that are the same. Since I have a straight edge corner punch, I'm going to make it work for me. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm doing the large. Okay. And here. I do not know what my dogs are going so crazy about. Yes, I do. There must be dogs in the sniff spot. And let's ink. Aren't you glad I remembered to ink or to cut before I inked? Usually I would ink, then I would cut, and then I'm like, well, now I need to ink again. Keeping it real. I tease that once you have kids, let's get that spot right in there. Okay. Mom brain never really recovers. Like when I got pregnant, I stopped remembering, or I wasn't like as on top of it as I was before. And it's never quite gone back to the way it was. So if we're now adding this, we would, oh my God, it's perfect. Look, it all worked out perfectly. Okay. So we would get this pretty well centered. I think we're right centered. I'm going to eyeball it, guys. Okay. And then we're going to do, let's get our ruler. Where is it? Okay. Let's go 5 millimeters in. Five millimeters in. Okay. Take it off. We're going to line this with the top line here to make sure our lines are the same. And let's go here. Does that look? Hold on, let me stand up. Yeah, that looks straight. Okay, so I'm going to put my first hole here. And this part's just take your time on this little part because it'll make it look so much nicer if the holes are aligned. And one here. Okay. Let's finish it off with my little trick. Go through, just going to press it down a little bit. Try not to lose control of it. Go in here. There we go. Controlled chaos. Okay. Here's our flap. And we're lining this bottom edge here with this bottom edge here. And are we looking? I think we need to come over just a little. Is that right? Here. 1 1/4 inch and, ooh, okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put my pencil through that hole here and through it here. And this time I'm going to get the right hole. Is that right? Let's just make sure. Yeah, that's right. That is right, right? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. And let's get our brad. And we're going to go through that hole and through that one. Yep, that was right. Good. This paper has some little flecks on it, and that's what happened the first time is I thought that was my pencil mark, and it was not. It was the paper. But now that we have that first one in, that makes it really easy. So. Go through this one. Okay. give it a close. And let's take a look again. That is so pretty. I love it. And let's see that other green. I think this is too green. I think I didn't have enough contrast, but just so you can see it. They both work. Okay. Now, we don't want these brads showing up, right? So the very last thing we're going to do is glue something pretty on this side. Let's see. What do I have? What do I have? Let's just grab another book page for ease. This one was an old stamping one. That'll work. Okay. You could make another pocket up here, but I think that wouldn't be very functional because if you have your pocket open this way, it's kind of weird. And so I just cover it. But if you want another pocket, make another pocket. I felt like it would be kind of a non-functional pocket because if I have it this way, the pocket here, everything's going to want to, like the opening, it's going to fall out. And if I have it here, it seems slightly awkward to me. But I know everyone has their own sort of ideals of how things should look. And for sake of time, I'm going to glue stick again because I know this video is running pretty long. But I also think this is such a cool little project. So hopefully it's worth it to y'all. I'll go right before that crease. Let's make sure. Yep, we're good. Okay. Make sure everything's pressed down. Let's cut this excess paper off. Okay. Okay, and here. And let's get that little corner. Okay. And we'll ink the inside real quick just because it'll look nicer. And just make sure everything's tucked down and glued. Sometimes you glue something, you're like, oh, that's lifting just a little. And then, because I don't like that big center white, I'm just going in a little bit. And there we go. There it is. Let's put our pieces all together. So let's put some trinkets in here. Here, we got this one. We got a stamp. Well, is that too long? Here, we'll just go this way. And, oh, here's a baby envelope. Here's another baby envelope. We'll put this one in here. Ha ha ha, because you can never have too many envelopes. And that goes there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think it's a cool idea. I know it was a long tutorial, but I think it's worth it. And if you want to see all of the new videos, hit that like and subscribe button. I try to remember to say that. But I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon. And if you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comments. I think I forgot to say this in the last video, but anybody who does comment on the video, all of the samples that I've made for that month, along with some of the goodies, are going to go out in a package to, I will randomly choose somebody and they will win that month's sort of little gift basket as a way to say thank you. So enjoy the rest of your day and thank you. Bye-bye.